Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Ramos. I am the penciler and inker for the comic Loxahatchee Streets. Today I wanted to show you guys a simple time lapse of my digital inking process. Now usually, most of my inking is done physically, but sometimes situations call out for the inking to be done digitally. In this case, I decided to move panels around and create more of an impact in the scene. So I decided to make these 3 panels their own separate page, as opposed to what they were before, which was part of another page. Doing that physically would involve cutting up the paper and redrawing the panel completely from scratch. So instead of doing that, I wanted to speed things along and just do it digitally instead. Here we are, I scanned the pencils. I also added 2 brand new panels digitally. Did quick thumbnails this time around for the panels, and I'm gonna skip the pencil phase and start doing the inking this time around. This isn't a method I usually recommend for new cartoonists. I'd say don't skip the pencils if you're starting out. However, for me, I decided to skip it this time around since I was pretty confident in what I was doing from the get. Now I'm starting the digital inking process. For the record, I'm using Clip Studio Paint, which is the #1 program for comic creators. I'm not sponsored, by the way. But if they want to sponsor me, shout out. Anyway, there are many ways to approach such a task. For inking, I'm using a method I kind of started developing early on Microsoft Paint when I was a kid years ago. And that's basically having vector lines do the work for you. I used to use the straight lines a lot as a kid. I wouldn't even use the curves back then. But I'm having serious issues with my tablet, and this is a good workaround for that. So I basically hit the shortcut U on the keyboard and start those lines as a base. From there, I use a combination of that and the pen tool, shortcut P. For the pen tool, I'm using the For Effect line, as opposed to the G pen. I'm using a bit of autocorrect stabilization for my line work. I'm used to inking things physically, so having to learn to be steady on the tablet can be a little difficult, time-consuming. So right now, it's a good way to work around that. The object is speed, and this speeds things up significantly. Eventually, as I get used to the tablet and maybe purchase a nice surface that mimics paper, I'll stop using stabilization, but for now, this is a good way to go. I guess some people might call it cheating. I just call it using every tool available you have to get things done. As you can see, I'm trying to use the digital nature to my advantage, warping the sizes, flipping things around, skewing things, and just, using everything that I have at my disposal. So yeah, enjoy this little time lapse, and we'll reconvene at the end. Okay, so I'm adding the finishing touches and voila, here's the finished inks. Now there will probably be a little bit of cleanup after this as well, but you can stick around for future videos to see the update on that. Like and subscribe for future content, such as seeing the coloring for this page. And I'm also planning to do a time lapse of my physical inking soon, which will probably be a little bit more informative since I'm more used to that. You can find me on social media at Carlos Ramos Art on Instagram, ZidaneK13 on DeviantArt. For the comics, simply search Loxahatchee Streets on Facebook and Instagram, LOXAHATCHEE Streets. Find the comic on Webtoons and Tapas IO apps. All links will be in the description below. Thanks, everyone, and in the immortal words of Etika, bless his soul, have yourselves a damn good one.